get through this. And speaking of that, I do have some breaking news out of Las Vegas. I've been up since 5 Vegas time. There's a high school here in town called Bishop Gorman, and it's kind of where all of our student athletes come out of: basketball, baseball, football, really strong student athlete school. The 4-star recruit, a guy named Zone Collins, who played for them, going to go to UNLV next year, 4-star recruit, smashed into a 52-year-old man and killed him in a DUI accident this morning. He's in jail. He ruined his life. And I'm not saying this because it's sports related. I'm saying it because it's New Year's Eve. And you guys, drive careful tonight. If you're going out, make sure you're being careful, because like 2020 is still not over. It could still get bad. So that being said, it's kind of the big story that's on today. So I just want to mention that. Everyone stay safe tonight. All right. Okay. So if you were with me last week, we went over, I'm following this angle of the back-to-back games, right? They played yesterday and then they play again today. And I feel like there's a lot of value in getting to watch your teams play before, like the day before they play, right? They always play twice a year, but usually there's a period of time, there's travel, there's home courts, there's all that kind of stuff. We don't have that going on with this. So last week when I did this on, I think it was the Sunday free pick video I did, I was 9-3. On those. So it worked out really, really well. Hopefully we can do this again. I've been running really hot and I feel like I'm going to crash soon. So no one bet your house on anything. If you're watching, like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, and leave me a comment in the comment box. Tell me who you like or what you think about these games also. Okay, so all the games I did were in the Big South. And I'm going to do another one of these tomorrow morning with the back-to-backs that play today and tomorrow. So Big South games, we got to start out with Gardner-Webb and Hampton, because they're going to start at 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern. All right, this is our early game. So Gardner-Webb played Hampton yesterday. They were a 5-point favorite, and they ended up losing the game by 11. Today, they're a 3.5-point favorite. The total was 147. It went over to 149. Now they've put the total at 146.5, which is a 0.5 point lower than it was yesterday before it went over. So I'm wondering why, right? Why? Well, all my numbers in the first place were saying that it goes under, and it feels like Gardner-Webb's defense just kind of lost its stuff there. So I'm going to take this under the 146.5. Let me make sure that's still the same number. I'm going to take it under 146.5. Well, sugar, now it's 143.5. Hold on, let me check my numbers. This is why I do total averages, right? We do total averages. 142 is where Hampton is. 140 to 153 is where Gardner-Webb is, but it's really more of a 140. Yeah, see, I still feel like this is an under game. I'm still feeling this under. My stats still hold that under, but it has moved down 3 points, so maybe be a little bit careful about that. I also like Gardner-Webb to cover this, -3.5. I know that Hampton put a beat down on them yesterday. I get that, but Gardner-Webb has played a tougher schedule. They played Pitt. They played Florida State. And, I mean, Hampton lost to Bill and Mare. How do you lose to Bill and Mare? And I love Bill and Mare. They lost to Howard. I think it was kind of a fluke game. So one thing Hampton does have is a 7-footer. That's kind of a big deal. But the 5 starters on Gardner-Webb, they're better 3-point shooters. They are a bit smaller, and they're a way stronger first half team also. So if you did want to get on to Hampton, I would wait a minute until maybe halftime and then in-play them, because you could get a way better number. But all right, so that's my official play. I'm going to lay the 3.5 with Gardner-Webb, and I'm going to take it under the 143, I believe it is. Okay, so next up, we have UNC Asheville. This is a 3 p.m. Eastern game. We've got UNC Asheville at Longwood. And what's their situation? Huge situation with foul trouble here. Asheville let Longwood score 18 points from the free throw line. That is never a good sign. Another thing about UNC Asheville that I noticed is that they played 2 overtime games. And I'm like a stat skewer, right? I like to mess around with the stats and take out what doesn't count. So I only use regulation when I do all my numbers. I don't use overtime because what that overtime does is it makes you think that they score more points than they do, right? So the sports book says that Asheville scores 76 points a game. My stat has them scoring 70. Says they give up 75. I have them giving up 72. On the other side with Longwood, I've actually got their stats are pretty spot on, even with taking out D2s and things like that. But really, instead of it being a 7-point difference, it's only a 2-point difference between the teams. That being said, UNC Asheville is like a pretty solid team, and they're older. There's 4 juniors and a senior. They're taller, 6'9", 6'6". They get into less foul trouble. They give up less turnovers, and they take more shots. So what was my play? So again, with the total average, I got a 142 and a 139. The total on this one's 143.5. I'm going to have to take that under again. And last week I was like so big on when they play a second time that it tends to go over, but that's really not always the case. I looked back. Yeah, it's still now it's at 142. I just looked at these numbers before I did these for you guys. High Focus Sports. I just looked at these numbers before I did these for you guys. And now it seems like they've all changed, but they're all going in the direction that I think they should. So I guess that's a good thing, right? So I like that to go under. And then the line is UNC -5. It was 4.5. So it goes with my deal. I think UNC, here's the thing. Asheville shot a lot of threes, and they were 50% field goal, which is pretty impressive. But Longwood did out-rebound them. They had a better 3-point percentage, and they shot a ton of free throws. But I'm going to roll with Asheville here. I'm going to roll with Asheville, and I will lay the 5 there. Yeah. Yep, that's where I'm at. Okay, so up next, what do you guys think? Y'all want to leave me a comment, say hello, tell me I look tired, because I am. Okay, so y'all get out of here, All right, we're going to go with Radford. The Highlanders are taking on the Blue Hose. How is that the mascot of your team? Blue Hose? Like, did you spin a wheel and it was like blue, and then you spun another wheel and it was, I don't know. It's like a punk rock band's name or something. Anyway, so Presbyterian, I dig Presbyterian. Their numbers are all over the place though, right? They play at home against South Carolina State. The total's 114. They play against Citadel. Total's 176. Play against Jacksonville, it's 143. So they're everywhere. When they played against Radford, the number closed at 128. They got to 136. Now they put the number at 130.5. I'm going under on just about everything today. Let me tell you that. I'm going under again. What was my issue? Oh, no, wait. Hold on. Let me double check this stat or this line real quick, because clearly everything is finally updated. I wanted to do this a lot earlier and have all my numbers ready because they're early games, but the lines didn't come out until early this morning, so I had to get up early. See the things I do for you guys so we can make money. Okay, so 128 is what they got. So again, at 130, I want to take it under. Now it's down to 128. 128 was what it was at yesterday, and it did go over that. Radford got into some turnover trouble. That was a big problem there. And back-to-back with Longwood, the defense improves. The total of their last one was 133, and then it went down to 115. I got to tell you, I like Presbyterian here. I really do. I don't know if I can give that as like an official, that's my play, because again, their stats are so everywhere. But I do like it to go under again. It's just the way that my numbers are working out. What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? because I trust my numbers more than I trust the bookies' numbers, right? They're the enemy here. We're trying to beat the books, right? That's the whole name of the game. Radford's leading scorer was only 1 for 7, though. He usually averages 10 points a game, so that makes me a little bit worried about it. But no, I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna roll with my under. 14. That's 26 points were scored with the clock stop. That also makes a really big difference. Okay, so final play under 130. I like Presbyterian, but I don't know. Okay. So I just want to give you good picks. Sometimes, like you cap out all your games and you have this plan to have all this great information, and then it just doesn't come out to the way that you are in love with something. And I'm not a huge Big Souther. Like I love the smaller conferences, but I'm good in like Missouri Valley, Horizon. That's kind of my jam right in there. But they played today. So I couldn't get them into my statistics. Okay, up next, we've got Withrop and Campbell. The Campbell Fighting Camels. And again, with these names, like Campbell's in North Carolina. Do they have camels in North Carolina? Maybe they're talking about the cigarettes. No, those are Turkish. Never mind. That would be Marlboro country. Okay, anyway, I digress. Okay, so what's Campbell doing? We got... I'm in 12. This is a 1 p.m. game, Eastern. Withrop minus 15.5, and the total's 152.5. Campbell brought it, man. It was 84-83 Withrop as 16.5 point dogs. That's pretty impressive. And it goes over. It was 148, went all the way up to 167. So now they've set it at 152.5. Give me 1 second, Focus Sports, and I will talk all about that. Campbell played hard. They had 4 players that fouled out of the game. Some of these stats were crazy. Withrop had 45 rebounds compared to 22 from Campbell. They had 20 offensive rebounds compared to 1 from Campbell. And then the biggest problem was that Campbell had 38 personal fouls. So Withrop went to the line 50 times and shot 74%. So that's 37 points from the free throw line from one team. That's insanity is what that is. And then Campbell made 13 from the line themselves. So again, I'm going to go under, because if you take this 167, which was their final score, and you take away those 37 points that they scored on the line, it brings you down to 130, right? And that's a little bit closer to what my stats were saying. Campbell's total average is a 136. Withrop's is like a 152. But that's against Furman and a really bad South Carolina Upstate school. Their total with South Carolina Upstate was 172 and then 184. I mean, they wiped this school out, which makes all their stats higher when they don't necessarily score that amount of points. When you skew the stats, the book says they score 89 a game. My stats say they score 80 a game without South Carolina involved in that mix. Also with Campbell, the book says 76. My stats say 72. So when the stats go lower than what the book says, I tend to go under, because that's what I do, right? Because I trust my numbers. Withrop, here's the thing. They were 5-0, and they were 5-0 against the spread. So now they're 6-0, but they're 5-1 against the spread. I don't think that they liked what happened to them yesterday. They have 3 seniors. They have 2 international players. I think Withrop is going to give it right back to Campbell today. I mean, but I don't think that they cover 15.5 points. Not after all that. They just can't. Without those 37 from the line, it wouldn't have even been close, really, right? So, I mean, Campbell shot 62% field goals compared to Withrop's 38, 57% threes compared to Withrop's 23. So, granted, we can say Withrop had not the greatest day, but 15.5 points, I think I even saw it go down to 14.5. Let's double check. The world is wild right now. Yeah, see, now it's down to 14.5 and the total went down to 151. So again, that's playing with my under and taking the points with Campbell. That's where I'm at. I kind of even like Campbell as a live dog here, to tell you the truth, but let's not get crazy. Let's not get crazy. Okay, so that's my final pick there. And that leaves us with uno más. Let me make sure I don't throw the wrong thing on the floor right now, because I'll do it. There we go. Okay. South Carolina Upstate. Here, let's talk about you real quick. Focus Sports. He says, what do you think of the Maryland-Michigan game? Or Michigan State game. I am a Michigan State fader right now in a big way. Where are they? Oh, no, it is regular Michigan. Okay. I didn't believe in Maryland against Purdue. And then I didn't believe in Maryland against whoever they just played. Wisconsin. They just beat Wisconsin. And I'm not the biggest, I don't know about this one. I haven't looked at it. I would lean. I don't think Maryland's that good. I think they're like, that Wisconsin loss was a little fluky. I don't think Wisconsin was ready for that necessarily or saw it coming. I would lay 1.5 with Michigan here. 140 is a number. When you get to the 145s in college basketball, anything 140, 145, you're getting a little bit high. If you look at these other numbers, 138, 135, 136, unless you've got these big time 3-point shooting teams, I don't think Maryland's a big 3-point shooting team. 5-2 against the spread, 5-4. I would lay the point with Michigan is what I would do, or 1.5 with Michigan. That's just how I would roll. Okay, so South Carolina Upstate. Friends at home, like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. I'm Allie Burns. You can follow me on Twitter at +moneyhoney. But yeah, like, subscribe, and ring that bell, because we're always doing free pick videos. I think Craig Trapp's actually doing one right now. We're competing, Craig. So last game, South Carolina Upstate. Wow, what do you say about this team? This is they're 0-8. Now they're 0-9. Just really rough. It's a tale of two halves with this team, is what I'm finding. They are very slow starters. They don't come out with a lead in any of their games. Not one of them, except maybe the D2. But I don't keep stats on D2, so you can do whatever you want with them. So they're slow starters. So if you do want to take points with South Carolina Upstate, I would wait until the half, because you'll get more of them, because that's how in-play works. The largest lead South Carolina had was 2. High Point had 11. High Point's the favorite here, -7.5. The total's 143.5. And this is one of those, like, trust in the number situation. So it's 145 yesterday. The total comes in at 115, and they lower it to 143.5. But you guys thought it would go to 145. So that makes me think that it would go over. This is like my one over play. And a big reason I think it might go over is because Upstate is so bad. Their total average is at 152, and it's not because they're putting a ton of points on the board. It's because they went to 172 with Winthrop, 173 with East Kentucky, Furman 154. I mean, this Winthrop was 184. I mean, they let you score on them at will. Guys put up 90 points against these guys. So I'm a little shocked that High Point only put up 63. High Point took a lot less field goal shots from the field. They usually take 58. They only took 39. What else do I have here? 21 points from the line. South Carolina Upstate usually takes 22 3-point shots. They only took 17. I think this goes over the 143. And I definitely think lay it with High Point. If South Carolina Upstate comes and upsets High Point. Well, that will be their high point for their whole freaking year, because it's just not a good look what they've got going on. And they've played decent competition. I mean, they played Tennessee and Furman. And usually I'm like, well, it's a strength of schedule kind of a thing. But there's no strength in your schedule. You're getting blown out by these teams, which is like what would be expected of you. Whereas like High Point's taking UNC Asheville into overtime, smashing Bill and Mary, old Bill and Mary. So yeah, so that's where I'm going to go with that is I'm going to lay it with High Point. Let's double check while I have you all here. Let's double check what the thing is. Okay, so it's High Point -5. So that is actually going in the direction of South Carolina Upstate. And it's at 140, which is following my under, or which is not following my under. So this game is going against, the lines on this game are going against what I think is going to happen. Full disclosure. But that doesn't mean anything either. You know, I mean, at the end of the day, the lines do what the lines do, and you got to trust your numbers and do what you think is going to happen. Okay, so to kind of recap what we're going over, I don't know if I have a best bet today, Thomas Jackson. Like I said, I was really hoping for like more out of these stats, you know, because again, if you're just joining us, I'm messing with this angle of back-to-backers, right? All 5 of these games happened yesterday, so I've got their stats, and then I grouped together what happened in the game, and then I kind of compare it to where did things go wrong? Why didn't this go to this? And do I think it's going to happen again? The Big South is just, it's not my favorite, I guess. It's not my favorite. See, I guess if I had to have a best bet, I really kind of like High Point quite a bit. But apparently the book is against me on that one. Hold on. I got to get my thing I threw on the floor. See, I told y'all this would happen. Okay, so we'll recap. Okay, so the 9, 10, 11, 12 p.m. Eastern game, I'm going to take it under, and I'm going to take Gardner-Webb there. That's probably my best bet because I don't see Hampton doing this twice. I don't know. At least I'm honest with you guys, right? I'm not like, this is what you take and I know what's up. It's just some days you just don't get them all where you want them. I think Asheville's solid. I don't really see Longwood. I don't know. Okay. My final plays. Don't let me think about this because I already mapped it all out and this is what we're doing. I'm taking Gardner-Webb minus the points and I'm taking it under the total. I'm taking UNC Asheville minus the points and under the total. I'm taking Campbell plus the points and under the total. I'm taking Radford under the points. I think I took Radford the first time I said this, but I like Presbyterian. No, I'm going with Presbyterian. That's right. I think I did that in the first place, but I'm going to take the points with Presbyterian. I like that. I like these guys. I don't know. I like them. And then with South Carolina Upstate, I'm going to take that over and I'm going to lay it with High Point. So those are my picks there. Jason Moore, talk to me, baby. What do we got? He says Michigan Moneyline. Good call. Yeah. Oh, wait, but they're not the dog. Don't be ridiculous. I don't Moneyline favorites, darling. I'm the plus money honey. Don't be ridiculous. No, that's not a bad price to pay for Michigan. Although Maryland is kind of rocking some momentum right now. Boise State going to win by 40. I love Boise. If you've watched any of my previous free pick videos, I work for UNLV, and I do their statistics at UNLV basketball, and I do the Mountain West tournament every year. So I love the Mountain West because I get to see them play right in front of my face. Boise's big, y'all. Boise is big. They're good. They got a kid, Derek Alston Jr., I think his name is darling. Like that helps. He's just darling, y'all. Doesn't help him play basketball though. But he's really good. They're solid. I like Boise. I like Boise a lot. Yeah, San Jose's best player just opted out. They're literally playing in a high school gym. Oh, 2020. Hi, Happy New Year, Quincy. Anybody else out there? Oh, I think, well, thank you, Focus Sports. It's not easy, like all we want to do is give you guys free picks, and then you have your one losing day, and then everybody hates you. And I've been rolling. My first free pick video, I was 2-1. My next one, I was 2-1. I competed on Total Chaos. I was 4-3. And then last Sunday when I did this, I was 9-3. So like I'm rolling right now, but I don't feel like the happiest I ever felt about these picks. But I am going to come on tomorrow and do the same thing with the back-to-back games in my conference that I love. So check me out tomorrow morning also. And yeah, and we'll do this whole damn thing over again, right? So yeah, Happy New Year's, guys. Remember what I told you. DUIs are real things. Drive safely. I know Uber and Lyft are both offering like $5 off your ride for New Year's Eve. Just darling basketball players, Focus Sports. Yeah, so find a ride. Don't drink and drive. It's really serious business. That's your public service announcement from Picks and Parlays. All right, guys, that's it for me. Stay tuned at 1 p.m. Eastern. I've got Total Chaos college football bowl games are coming on with Dan Kaiser and Kurt Alexander. I'll be hosting that. And tomorrow morning. Oh, Jason, I'm off the Bud Lights right now because I ate too much lasagna, and I'm going to turn into the plus size money, honey, if I don't lay off my Bud Lights right now. Christmas was too much lasagna and meatballs. So yeah, not too many Bud Lights, maybe some champs though. And then tomorrow morning, yeah, that's a good point. Let's shoot for 9. What do you think? 9-ish? Is that good for you? We'll go with that. I had to do it early today because these games start in soon, in an hour. At this point, the first game starts in an hour. So it's a little morning wood for you from the Plus Money Honey. All right, guys, that's about it. Thank y'all for watching so much. Like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, and I will see you guys at 1 p.m. Eastern today with Dan and Kurt to do Total Chaos college football. If you haven't watched that show, I get 2 handicappers. They go head to head. I give them the game, the total, and they just pick over or under. Whoever gets the most right comes back the next week to defend their title. We do it. NFL is on Saturdays at 1 p.m. Eastern. It's Chip Chirimbus and Sean Higgs this week. And then as soon as the NFL or college football die out, I'll bring college basketball back in. I don't have enough handicappers right now to do 3 of those shows. All right. Love you guys. Be safe tonight. Happy New Year. See you in a little bit.